Hey guys, welcome back to Super Switch U. Today we're going to do a review. We're going to do a full review on a game that has probably taken me way too long to get to this point, but it took a while to find time to play, and now my son actually has some interest in watching me play the game because I put more Donkey Kong in there, and apparently that's all it takes. And my son loves Donkey Kong right now, so um, I'll take a win where I can get it. And that game in particular, that's not the one. Hold on a second. Camera. Bring the camera down. Here we go. It's Mario Tennis, not JoJo Siwa. Get that out of here. Finally finished adventure mode. I also want to show I've unlocked most of the stuff. Like all the movies get unlocked with adventure mode. When you beat adventure mode, you got all those. I got the CPU difficulties, which basically just go into free play single matches and beat computer at intermediate, expert, and pro. And you can get all the difficulties through ace. Got all the courts pretty early on because starting adventure mode, you get those three. Do the tutorial or the how to play once and you get the airship. Wonder Court match in special match gets you that one. The Rocket Factory gets you that one. Pinball match gets you that one. And Forest Court gets you that one. Special matches will get you the other four courts, which I usually like playing those. I mean, to be fair, like any of the things you unlock are better than just the standard courts, so I end up playing those more often than anything else. I've got all the rackets at this point, which you get a lot of it by going through adventure, right? Because through rank A in the academy, you get those just playing any two matches, which all adventure mode matches count. So you also have this one, that one, quite a few of these through a lot of the early stuff. A lot of it's through playing so many matches. And then once you get through 42 matches and you do the academy part of adventure, which is like half of adventure mode. We'll get into that in a minute. You'll get the final one, which is question block racket, which will do anything that the other rackets do at random, which is actually kind of fun. I've used it a few times now. It may end up being my favorite racket next to I don't know where it's at. It might have been one. Oh no, it's this one here. The amp rack ended up being my favorite through most of this because you can set up traps, right? You smack it, you set one up, and you set up the second one, and it has an electrical tripwire thing there all the way across. So if your opponents touch it, it zaps them, and you can set up to like 3 and have a whole trapped in little area, and you can block them out from most of the court. So it's kind of nice. But the mystery one is also neat. It'll show you everything else you can do. I don't have all the color variations because that requires playing a ton of matches. Until you've played 100 tennis matches in total, you won't get all of those. And then you've got to get S rank in all of these different score attack modes. And I think that's it. I think that's the only requirements really for these. Yeah, special match stuff. So I have all characters except for 4. I've got to do 5 more matches for that one. Piranha Plant Challenge, I've got to do an advanced difficulty 4-player co-op. I just haven't done that one yet. That was one of my next things to try to do. And then the last Tower of Trials, which is Tower of Trickery, will get you Dry Bowser, and that's the last thing I got to unlock there. Which I don't. So I'm going to do a review. I just wanted to show you guys, like, this is all that I've done. I've done all 3 tournaments. Just to show you that there's 3 tournaments for singles and doubles. It's the same ones, but you unlock characters for each of those. There are 3 trials, trial towers, and I've done the first 2, but I've not done that one yet. And then you got a bunch of different special score matches. I've done pretty much all of that. So really, I'm going to talk about each of the modes, the ups and the downs, and the character roster, and stuff like that, and then we'll give it the U score at the end. I don't know that I'll do a ton of playing because it is hard to focus and play, but I want to go through as I'm talking about each thing. So, adventure mode is the first thing I'd like to talk about, right? Because the playtime there, and this may actually keep me from doing this. I don't know if I'll do the. I mean, I ended up reading a lot of it, so maybe that would shave off some time from the overall playthrough if we were to do under 60 gaming, but I don't know. 5 hours is a decent little chunk. To try to shave that down to an hour, I know that's not going to happen. So we may not, but I don't know. Maybe. But just to show you guys, the Academy is basically just a very lengthy tutorial because you've got to go through. And you go back in there just to. Oh, I wasn't wanting to do this though. Hold on a second. Yeah, give up. I wasn't wanting to do the minigame, so I wanted to go to the Academy. It's not going to let me go to the Academy, is it? Huh. Weird. If I... Yeah, so to go back to any of this, you have to pick a match or an area specifically. So really to show this off, I'd have to go back in. Hold on a second. There's a way to get to what I want. It's the rackets, right? Because you got one for each of these. The JV class you had to go through, so it's one. Each of these are basically like a little stage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like 6 of those just in the Academy, which is what I was wanting to say. Alright, so you count that as like 6 stages to get out of the Academy. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I'm not wrong. Like, half of this is that. And the thing is, right, like, yeah, this looks like there's a ton of stuff there, but that's a match. That's a match. That's a match. So it's like a tennis match in each one. Whereas this, for each class, you had to do like one of these and 2 or 3 matches and a quiz. So they all equal about the same. So this is the first area where I actually have a major complaint, and I'd like to talk about. Story mode in Mario Tennis Aces, which was the last tennis game before this one. This was the Nintendo Switch one. And you could play that on Switch 2. So it's absolutely relevant to this whole conversation. It had a massive story mode. Like, you went all the way around, and there was a ton of different tennis matches and stuff you did. The only thing I don't think that you ever actually did was walk around in areas, which is very much unnecessary because it's just walk to a match. It's not talk to people, buy stuff, RPG element type things in there. Like, none of that's present. It's just walk. You can talk to people, but they don't really say a whole lot, and then you walk to the thing that you need. Does not add anything. So basically, story mode consists of 6 stages of tutorial with minigames thrown in. And then 6 actual story type stages. And the little yellow dots over here between the Academy and the Waterfall Basin, and then between the Foggy Swamp and the Valley of the Monsters, those are just specifically like read through text box cutscenes. there is nothing that you do in those specific spots. Now, there are some things that these do that are interesting. There are little minigame type match things, and not like super minigame, but like you'd use bats to try to take out the big cloud guys that like blow air so you can't get past, or you need to hit like water drops or something towards fire to put out the fire on the ship, or fight off enemies to take down a boss. And there's a lot of bosses that you're fighting in this. I think every one of these has a minimum one boss that you're fighting, with the final one having like 3 big boss fights. So like those are neat. I just feel like we didn't get enough, like nowhere near enough for this to feel complete. And the fact that 5 hours is what it took, and some of that time I think was like sitting in a place because I had to get up and go do something. I don't think it was 5 hours straight of gameplay. I feel like it could be done in less than that for sure. An hour, no, but like, yeah, this is lacking. They built this up. One of the biggest selling points for Mario Tennis Fever, it felt like, was that it was the storyline. Like, baby Waluigi's here for the first time. They get turned into babies, and they got to find a way to go back. And like, it does tell that story, but this feels like a rushed mode. Like, they could have done a lot more. You could have gone to different islands. There could have been like a whole journey through. Like, yeah, you level up as you go along. I think I finished at like 42 or 45 or somewhere in the 40 level range. Because there's only so many opportunities to level up, and it doesn't really do a whole lot overall. Because once you get out of the academy, it stops mattering at all. Like through these last 6, it's if you know how to play tennis, you could just go through just fine. It did absolutely nothing. It might have made you a little faster, might have made your hits a little faster, but not a big change. And that was, I think, starting this in like the higher 20s or lower 30 level range and getting up to the mid to maybe higher 40s by the end. Like that's, yeah, there was not a lot of change in the part where it mattered. In the academy, it didn't feel like it mattered. It felt like that was the story for so long. It was rough. That's all I really want to say on that. Like, it is just, their big selling point was not impressive enough to me. It's nice that it's there. It adds an extra mode. It does not add a lot to an extra mode. So really, these other 4 here are the selling point. Swing mode would be neat. I haven't really done it. Yeah, I really shouldn't have done that because I messed up my controller setup. So let me fix that. There we go. Okay. Anyway, that's just to have motion control in the match. It'll like automatically move for you, I think. And just swing. The tournaments are fine. The tournaments, by the time you get to this one, it's a test of if you need anger management. For me, it was. Oh my gosh. Because the matches are so long in the Star Cup. It's like best of 3 in the first 2, and then that final for the tournament is best out of 7. So you got to win like 5 matches, I think, or whatever. And it just goes on forever. And they're much more difficult than they are in the Mushroom Cup. But it is a good challenge. Like, if you like tennis games and you like a challenge to a tennis game, this is great. I really wish we had more cups, though. And not just 3 singles, 3 doubles. Like, if they would have put more focus into this, since they didn't put focus into adventure mode, that would have been fine. Trial of Towers. It's neat. It's definitely a different kind of challenge. And I'm glad that it's here. What it does, though, is it's so many different challenges as you move up the tower, but you don't get to pick your character beforehand. Like every challenge, I think it's even different every playthrough that you go, but like you'll be given a character to play as or a partner to play doubles with, and then it'll be like first to 5 points, but you have two small bloopers and you're a bigger blooper and you're trying to fight like Rosalina or something, and she's got a special racket, or you've got to get through ring challenge with a certain score. It goes through the different types of things you can, like different types of matches you can play and the different rackets, and then we'll have some fun with sizing or partners or whatever. So it's neat if you want to shake things up from a standard tennis tournament. Free play is just free play. We'll go back to that whenever I'm going to talk about the character roster. Special matches, we did have a decent little selection here. Just the ring shot's fun. You're just trying to hit the ball back and forth through the rings, and you have a collective score that you're trying to get where both sides equal whatever score, and then at the end it'll tell you like you got this many points and they got this many points for a total of this. And so it's a fun cooperative competitive type of thing. The forest court matches, these kind of suck. They're not like bad or whatever. It's challenging. It's just the piranha plants will take away the different squares in the court, so you can only hit the ball where it's actually got grass and stuff on it. Any of the dirt is out of bounds. And so at any one point, you could be trying to aim for a single square doing a whole match against somebody. And it's tough. It's sometimes frustrating. Pinball match, I think it just really had the little bouncers and stuff. Like it was okay. It wasn't great. Racket Factory, I think its big thing was the bombs, maybe. Oh no, that's what it was. It was you hit the light up things, and it would give you different rackets to use or to unleash the fever shots for whatever racket that's lit up. I don't know. I only did this like once. Then Wonder Court match, you would hit the Wonder Seeds, and it would do crazy stuff like in Mario Bros. Wonder. Like that was fun. It was just a lot of weirdness in that too. So if you're just looking for crazy stuff, special matches where it is. Score Attack, not a lot really here. It's 2 or 4 player co-op ring shot. The Piranha Plants, where they'll shoot out a ball from one of the 3 pipes, and you have to hit it where your opponent doesn't hit it back. Sometimes that can get kind of frustrating too, because like they'll put them dead center in the front, and it'll come out of the middle one, and like I don't know how you're supposed to hit that where they don't get it. I guess stand really far back. And then Auto Tennis is where you're trying to hit it into the specific squares to get a point, or like to get your score up. Yeah, it just feels more of the same. So like there's some fun stuff there, but it's better when those things are incorporated into Trial of Towers in some succession, rather than just doing continuous matches there. I really was only doing mix it up to unlock stuff. I don't know how many more times I'd actually go into that unless I'm playing with other people. And I haven't done anything with online or local play or whatever, but you've got Game Share, which would be great with other people. And especially if you only got one copy of the game, you could do local play with multiple stuff. So all the standard online and local multiplayer stuff is there, and it's just gonna be this right here. So besides adventure, I don't think you can do adventure with anybody else. You get these little medals. I don't know what they do ultimately, but this is like your major accomplishments. So clear adventure mode, win every tournament, earn every star in all trials in the trial towers, clear all score challenge games on advanced difficulty, and then play 100 total matches in different modes. And I've only done 45 so far. And then your regular achievements, it's just your unlockables. What else we got? I guess we'll go into character roster. We could actually talk about a lot of this. Let me bring myself down just a little bit so we can see all of the courts. Right, the courts I feel like we could have had more. Right, because you've got the 3 standard ones that are unlocked from the beginning, and it's just regular courts for tennis. Your grass, hard court, and clay court. Boring stuff. You unlock 3 for adventure, or just for starting adventure because of the academy, which just introduces a wood court, which is less a professional setting, so it kind of changes it a little bit. You've got the brick court, which is just an alternate to that one, and then the carpet court, which is also alternate to that because the backgrounds are basically the same. So it's just different textures and different ways that the ball bounces. And what I want is more like the bottom courts. You've got a mushroom court, which is definitely something you wouldn't have in a standard tennis game. And you've got a sand court, which adds some difficulty. You've got ice, where you're kind of slipping around. And then you've got these where the entire background and everything change, and so it feels like you're going to different stuff, which is like airship court, forest court, Waluigi's pinball, Wonder Court, and Racket Factory. So for each of the special types of games you could do, I feel like they could have done more of these because if I'm remembering correctly, Mario Tennis Aces had a lot more of this type of stuff, and not, just so limited to 14 different ports. Yeah, it's a little lacking. Character roster's not. And I think Mario Tennis Aces, some of the characters were unlocked through online play, which was a little disappointing. Where this is not. This is, you can realistically unlock everybody. Some of these are a little more difficult than others, like Baby Waluigi's at the most difficult option of the doubles tournament, which felt like it was a lot harder to do. This is the last tower of trials, and that's going to be the most difficult one. And then you've got 100 matches will get you. Oh, I know it's a variation. So 50 matches get you PD Piranha. So some of this is a lot, and then you're only unlocking Koopa Paratroopa after 40 or 35 or something different matches. Yeah, some of this it's a lot for nothing. But you have a decent lineup, but you're talking about main cast and not just random enemies and assist people. You've got your standard Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy. Rosalina's here. She basically becomes standard now. Pauline's kind of also joining the regular cast. Wario, Waluigi, Bowser Jr., Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, and Kamek. I think that's anybody that's not random bad guys or variations to characters that exist, right? Because Toadette, Luma. Oh, Yoshi. Right, Yoshi's regular. Yeah, that's too. That's generic people, the generic enemies like Boo, Shy Guy, Koopa, Chain Chomp, Boom Boom. Baby versions to only 5 characters, which is a little weird because Baby Rosalina, I think, exists in at least Mario Kart World. Baby Daisy has existed a few different times, and neither of them are here. This came out after Donkey Kong Bonanza. You could have had Child Pauline as a character, and it would have actually fit better, but they didn't do that either. Nabbit, I think, kind of constitutes as a regular character, sort of, since he got introduced. But you got a lot of these randoms, and no. There are still regular characters that could be here that are not, like the Koopalings. You've got 7 of them that are actual unique, specific characters. You've got EGAD that has still never shown up in any game as being playable, which it feels like a crime. Uh, yeah, I don't know, stuff like that. You could have had more regulars and not this. Like, who's really excited? Like, oh my goodness, Koopa Troopa's back! Like, yeah, I'm never gonna play this Koopa Troopa or a Goomba. Get out of here, you Goomba! You don't even have hands. Yeah, nobody's excited for Wiggler. Nobody. Yeah, I don't know. There's different characters that could have replaced some of this. It could have felt like a more hearty cast of characters and not just like half good and half randos. Like Mario Kart World was half real and half randos. So I don't know. You know what? This would be a good opportunity to go to the rackets too. So the fever rackets are nice. Like these and having the different abilities and having actually a fairly decent selection for being something they just threw into this game. You got your standard. You've got flame and ice, which is pretty regular. Lightning and wind one. You'd expect that. There's a mud racket that makes it harder to move around and harder to see. Pokies actually add the Pokey character in there. Like he's standing there and you can smack into it and take damage. Two different variations to the wind, which is a little repetitive, I guess. And you got multiple different variations to fire and ice. So some of this kind of repeats itself. You could make people shrink with the mini one. Like I said, I like this one. It's technically a variation to the lightning. However, you're setting booby traps, which is nice. Same thing with the fire bar. Like the fire and the flame are very similar, but the fire bar racket actually sets it where the fire balls spin around in a specific area, so it kind of makes it more difficult to play in one section of the court. Yeah, some of this is real generic, and I don't use it. But you got the banana one, which looks neat because it's just bananas and it feels right to use with Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong. Puts banana peels everywhere. That's fun. Turn the ball this way. This will make it difficult for the person on the other side because it turns the ball into a bullet bill, and it's so much faster than it is regularly, which is something they've done in the Trial of Towers mode, and it was rough. I think I had to do that one twice. The metal racket will turn to metal, and so like you don't. I don't think it takes damage while you're metal or something. I don't know. And then this it just randomly selects from all of these. So the rackets I'm happy with. Like even with some of those repeating, there's still a decent selection for different things and stuff. So that's most of my complaints just kind of come from this right here. Adventure mode was lacking, and there could have been more tournaments. Trial of Towers, I don't know that you needed more than like 3 because they do randomly change it. So it's more like choose your difficulty, and that's fine. But I think tournaments, so you could have had some more cups. But it's fine, and you could have maybe done some more mix-it-up modes. But again, that should have been extra. This should have been the hardy point, the adventure mode, and it's not. So yeah, I complain about that all day. So let me bring myself back up here. There we go. Okay, so we went over the good, went over the bad. So what is my final verdict for a score? Yeah, we're going to give that a 4 out of 5 U score. Because it's a really good game. It is a good tennis game. It's not the best tennis game, kind of like how Mario Kart World was not the best Mario Kart. Which, I don't know, some DLC might kind of fix Mario Kart World, and maybe you could fix tennis too, but yeah, I think it's just the fact that, like, difference here being Mario Tennis Aces came out in it was either 2018 or 2019. I feel like it was 2018, but it was the summer of 2018. So the Switch 1 had already been on the market for more than a year, and like they actually would have had some time to develop a game. They were also coming off of Mario Tennis Ultra Smash for the Wii U. That was like hands down the worst Mario Tennis. I will say that. I'll go ahead and pull the score out. But yeah, the Wii U Mario Tennis was the worst Mario Tennis because there was so little to make it unique, so little for different modes and stuff, and it was so heavily focused on Amiibo that it took away from the tennis experience. So they came off of that and made Aces a million times better than that. And so they didn't feel like they had to prove themselves. And so now we've got Tennis Fever, which like it's fine for a tennis game. Like it's got elements that make it better, but it's not the best. It has those areas it can work on, but adventure mode specifically, if you're gonna market so much the adventure mode, don't make half of it a tutorial at the academy because that went on too long in comparison to the rest of the game. It should not be half of what you're doing, and it is absolutely half of that entire game. And no, like I didn't exactly enjoy the academy part. The mini games were fun. The quizzes sucked because I don't care to know the knowledge of what shots do what and whatever. Like I know when I'm in the game what I'm doing, and I don't need to quiz myself on it. And then you're just doing like standard matches against Toads, with an occasional like Wario and Waluigi baby match. That's it. I mean, that's pretty much it. There's a tournament at the very end, and then you go to try to not be babies anymore, and the actual fun part with bosses and all that other stuff, and then that doesn't last long enough to justify 6 levels worth of tutorial. So, like that's what lost that one U to be a perfect 5 out of 5. Um, like I said, I could do with the character roster. There's enough there that it's fine, and then all the other modes are good. And I'm having fun with it. I'm getting frustrated at times, but I'm having fun with it. And everything actually being unlockable, I like that. That is actually a plus because you don't get that a lot anymore. They'll just give it to you as paid DLC or just right out the gate because it's like, oh, we don't want people to like have to struggle or try for things. It's like I want to try. It keeps me playing. It gives me goals to go for. Like, okay, so now I got to do this mode and try to get these characters by doing these types of missions. It adds to the fun. It doesn't take away from it. It just adds to it. And so like that's fine. It's just they probably should have mixed up the unlockables a little bit better because now for like the match count, right? After 40, what is it? 50 with PD Piranha. After that, it's color swaps for Koopa Troopa, Paratroopa, Shy Guy, and Yoshi. So it's color swaps, and I'm like, because even by that point at the 50 match one, you've done all of the rackets, you've done all of the characters. I think that's it. That's the only things. Like they should have just interwoven that better. So like every so many matches, it was something else, and you had some of the color swaps earlier on, and you had to keep playing to get more stuff. It would have extended that. Now I feel like if I never unlock that final Yoshi color at 100 matches or whatever it was, like I'm good. I don't need it. Like it's not gonna feel worth the effort put in. Not unless it was like Gold Mario or Pink Gold Peach or something right at the end, like this shiny thing. Like, oh, look at this! I did a ton of matches. That might have been different than just. I think it's Red Yoshi at 100. Yeah, it's not great. It's not good, but overall, it's a good game. Just the little things, right? And like, it's okay sometimes to nitpick, but adventure is a very hard thing to just overlook. Like, if they were just throwing this together real quick to have a game at the beginning of the Switch 2, I'd understand not having it, but at the same time, like, man, I really wish you would have focused more on that. Even if it was just more of the same, it would have there would have been more to do, and I would not have beat it in 5 hours. And I know a lot of people complain it's not more RPG focused. Like, it didn't have to be RPG focused, but like more bosses, more worlds and challenges and stuff, and not half Tutorial Academy and half game. That makes the Academy feel so much worse and just leaves that aftertaste in your mouth. It just doesn't go away. But let me know what you guys think. If you've played the game, if you've seen the game played, and you have your own opinions, let's talk about it in the comments section. If you think I'm just way off on the score and I'm being too generous, or if I'm being a little too critical, let me know. We could talk about it. Maybe I'll renew my score if I really just somebody really gets me some new eyes on it. Maybe I'll go back and rethink about how critical I'm being, or if I'm not being critical enough about certain things. I don't know, but my initial playthrough of basically doing most of it, like I said, I didn't unlock every single thing, but at this point now, it's so many matches and just finish up a few things here and there. I've got a good sense of what the game feels like, and I feel like it's a 4 out of 5. It's a good game, especially if you like Mario Tennis games, but it could have done some things better. So, if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe so we can get closer to 2,000 subscribers, because we're getting very close. And if you have subscribed, hit that bell notification button so you can be alerted to all upcoming videos, including the Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday uploads, which I usually try to aim for 9 a.m., but a lot of times, like unboxings and specific event related things, they get put up later, and so you want to know, like, hey, the video's up, it's ready, we can watch that now. And anytime there's a random thing in the week, if there's news to talk about, if there's a release that doesn't fall onto a Tuesday, a Thursday, or a Saturday, something like that, you want to know about it so you can see it. So set that bell notification to everything so you don't miss anything. And with that, I think that's everything I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.